Brought to you by Penguin.
Revolusi, Indonesia and the Birth of the Modern World by David Van Reybrouck. Read by Neil Gardner. Prologue. No waves, no billows, no breakers. The calm Java Sea splits the moonlight into 1,000 oyster-white shards that bob gently on the dark water. A mild north-east breeze brings some relief, but as always, when the monsoon winds change direction, the heat lingers until after midnight, even at sea. Millions of stars sparkle in the firmament. The Milky Way is a swipe of chalk on a blackboard. From the distance comes a faint thrumming, barely audible at first, but the sound intensifies, coming closer, now a distinct throbbing, an ever louder pounding, until it turns into a forceful, regular thumping. And in the moonlight, the unmistakable form of a steamship surges into view, a majestic white colossus parting the waters with her ramrod prow. Her masts, derricks and decks announce that this is a packet ship, carrying both passengers and freight. The broad funnel trails a horizontal wisp of smoke like a pennant. Now and then the stack disgorges a shower of red sparks. The stokers in the boiler room are raking the live coals. But the sparks soon fizzle in the open air, and the packet glides on through the lead-blue waters of the night. The ship is listing to starboard a little, not much. She's just carrying a heavy load. But the angle of list is increasing, the vessel tilting further and further off-centre. On the lower decks, the passengers look around in fright. Then the whistle sounds. 6 short blasts, 1 long. Abandon ship, and again and again. Now everything happens fast. A few deck passengers rush out onto the promenade. Not everyone has a life jacket, and it's hard to assemble when the deck has become a slope. Stokers and trimmers are making their way up the steep ladders, but which way is up? The people on deck cling to pipes, cables, chains and ropes. Those who lose their grip slide down the deck, slam into the rail and fall, broken into the sea. A shriek of terror, the crunch of impact, a cry of agony, and then the splash. A few minutes later, the ship keels over, her funnel smacking into the sea. She chokes, spurts water, takes in more, and then suffocates in a death rattle of steam, soot, coal, and salt. The big bronze propeller, half submerged, slows to an inglorious halt. The large flag that flew so proudly from the stern now floats on the dark water. The once mighty vessel lies on her side in the sea among the drowning people. Because the dynamo is on the port side, now facing up, many electric lights on the deck keep blazing until the packet's final descent to the seabed. Glaring bulbs on a sinking ship. Brightly lit decks, wet coils of rope. A short circuit crackling. Then only bubbles rising to the surface. Chapter 1. The VOC Mentality. Why Indonesia Wrote World History. It was the loudest explosion I'd ever heard. I was at work in my hotel along Jalan Wahid Hasim, a street in the centre of Jakarta, when from down the road came what sounded like a huge thunderclap. But the morning sky was a steely blue, as it had been the day before, and the day before that. Had a lorry exploded? A gas tank?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?